I used to wait on this guy who'd been sober for 3 years, and I knew he'd been sober for 3 years because he told everybody that he'd been sober for 3 years. He liked to sit at the bar and get a Sierra Mist and tell people about his sobriety. But then one day he came in and he said, "Can I get a Grey Goose on the rocks?" And it took me aback for a second, and I was like, "For you?" And he goes, "Yeah." And I was like, Are you sure?" And he was like, "Yeah." And I mean, I didn't want to embarrass him or make him uncomfortable. It really wasn't my place to pry. But, one last attempt, I said, "Do you want to call someone real quick?" And he said no. And just like I can't refuse service to a pregnant person, I can't refuse service to someone who's been sober. So I had to make his drink, but it made me really sad. One night, this guy that came into the bar, I'd seen him a couple times, and he happily told me about all these great things going on in his life. He'd been through kind of a rough patch, but things were really looking up, and he was just very excited for this new chapter. Told me all about his kids, all about their interests, their names, their ages, what they looked like, what they liked to do. I could tell he was a very good father, and he told me that he only had them on the weekends, and when he had them, he liked to do really fun things with them because he wanted them to always remember what a great time they had with their dad. And he was a very nice guy. He ended up closing down the bar with me. He walked out with me that night, and it was totally platonic. Like, it wasn't a weird thing at all. He wasn't trying to hook up with me. He was just a very nice, friendly guy. And the next day, I found out that he promptly went home that night and died in a tragic freak accident. And I still have a very hard time reconciling with the fact that, like, he was so happy. I really thought that he was just, life had turned around. And then he died. I used to wait on this couple very often. It was an old man and an old woman, and the old woman had Alzheimer's, and it was bad. I mean, it got to the point where, she couldn't even order food. She was just on another planet at all times. She was not lucid ever. So one day, the man thought she was kind of lucid, and they had their dog in the car, so he'd gone out to check on the dog. But the second he left, she started panicking, and she was like clinging to me and hugging me, and she was saying, "I'm with you, right? I'm with you, right?" And it was the saddest thing I've ever seen in my life, because I remembered waiting on her before the Alzheimer's had really set in, and just seeing like how bad it can truly get is heartbreaking.